So this has gotten a little odd. So, good morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I now call to order this meeting of the Anchorage, a special meeting of the Anchorage Assembly. It's October 27, 2023. It's 11:01 a.m. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Member Brawley,
Here.
Member Bronga, Chair Constant,
Here.
Member Cross, Member Johnson,
Yeah, we'll call him when he comes back in.
Member Martinez,
Present.
Member Myers,
Here.
Member Presverdia, Member Rivera,
Present.
Member Salt, Member Voland,
Here.
Vice Chair Zolotel.
Here.
I would note that Mr. Johnson has joined us.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and do the pledge. Everybody, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Rivera, would you lead us in the pledge? I'm sorry, the land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement recognizing the Indigenous people of a place. It is a public gesture of appreciation for the past and present Indigenous stewardship of the lands that we now occupy. It is an actionable statement that marks our collective movement towards decolonization and equity. The Anchorage Assembly would like to acknowledge that we gathered today on the traditional lands of the Dena'ina Athabascans. For thousands of years, the Dena'ina have been and continue to be the stewards of this land. It is with gratefulness and respect that we recognize the contributions, innovations, and contemporary perspectives of the Upper Cook Inlet Dena'ina.
Thank you. We have one item on the agenda today. It's AR 2023-360, a resolution of the Anchorage Assembly expressing support for the municipality of Anchorage's funding request for HUD's pathways to removing obstacles to housing funding opportunity. And we have a bit of a snafu. The notice was a little bit wonky. I have a question for the department. Did you conduct a public hearing already for this item?
Yes, we did.
That's Judge Rowlett from the department. So there has already been a public hearing that occurred for this item. Okay, so that's one thing. Second, we had an error that's super extraordinarily rare. The meeting was noticed with a public hearing, but the title of the meeting wasn't updated, and by accident, a copy and paste error. The public hearing was noticed at 6 p.m. tonight at Chambers, and that's tricky for a number of reasons. I want to hand, before we open the public hearing, the conversation to Council Gates. Are you here, Dean? Are you on the phone, Dean? So he's not called in yet. One sec. So effectively, we've asked Dean for advice on how to thread the needle of fixing the issue with the notice that occurred. There are two schools of thought. Mr. Gates has opined that we could continue because we did notice a public hearing and conduct the public hearing right now and take care of this, or we could, another path is open the public hearing and then through an 8-vote majority motion, suspend the rules to continue the public hearing today at 6 o'clock, or excuse me, continue this meeting for 6 o'clock when the noticed public hearing is at. I want to note, is Mr. Gates on?
He's trying to get on, but he and I talked in the interim since then, and I believe that under the code, the chair can recess under AMC 230-02 E10, the chair may temporarily recess a meeting for convenience to restore order or resolve a technical issue. So we're both in agreement that you do not need to suspend the rules, that
Okay.
the chair can
Great.
move to recess.
So that's the second question, and that's a much simpler path. I appreciate that one. The first question is the question of, and I don't know where he is. He's the one who has the opinion that we can continue this. We can do it right now. And so I want to provide for the members the ability to make that decision through a brief discussion. We don't have a lot of time. We have just a half an hour for this meeting. And so I'm not sure where Dean is at. So
I apologize. He's trying to call in right now. It's more of a logistical challenge.
Understood.
given the-
is there a way to open up a Teams? Maybe that would work for him. Just note that this project has been one of very interesting challenges to get us to this point, and we'll figure it out. So I guess in order to save some time while we're working on this, I'll just go ahead and open the public hearing on this item. The public hearing on AR 2023-360 is now open. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on this item here? Anyone at all? There is no one in the room. We'll leave the public hearing open now while we wait to try to manage this. Mr. Gates? Are you there?
Yes.
Hi there, Dean. The question I have for you is, earlier today, you opined that the assembly could act in one of two ways. One way would be that the law allows, we could continue and we could close the public hearing now and act based on the fact that there was notice, or we could postpone and convene again, or not postpone, but recess and convene again at 6 o'clock at Chambers. So would you provide the basis upon which the assembly could act presently?
Yes. I'll try. So please let me know if I need to speak up or need to make sure everybody can hear. So the situation I guess we had is there was I guess an error. The public hearing noticed for tonight at 6 p.m. At the start, in addition to the special meeting today. So both were on our public notices meeting page, and both were listed on our municipal meetings page. So tonight, 6 p.m. did not, though, have an agenda with it, like today's 11 a.m. special meeting time. So the code, though, allows cancellation of a meeting with 2 hours notice. So I guess the public notices, if I read that right, were posted on the 25th for both these meetings. So the public, I guess, has had a couple of days viewing these 2 meeting notices, and maybe some members of the public expected to testify tonight instead of now at 11. So I guess the assembly body has a couple of choices. You could have both meetings, or you could have today, this 11 a.m. meeting and cancel tonight's meeting with more than 2 hours notice, and pull the notices from the public meetings page before, I guess, 2 hours before 6 p.m. So legally, the public notices were up and canceled 2 hours before, in compliance with code. So we could do that and conclude this morning, or as I was on, I guess I had the meeting open before I was able to call in and saw that Mr. Hood explained that the code also allows the chair to recess for convenience. And so that would be the other thing that could occur. I guess the option 2 is
All right, thank you. So,
not close the public hearing and the chair recess and direct the meeting to reconvene at 6 p.m. and continue the public hearing there and then close it and have action. And so either of those is possible. I guess one other tidbit about continuing to tonight is many members maybe weren't expecting to have to be present at 6 p.m. No code allows for a meeting with less than a quorum physically present, only if there's good cause. But I think the unforeseen error here sort of presents good cause if the chair finds so.
thank you, Mr. Gates.
So I hope that provides the basis, and if there's any questions, I'll happy to help answer.
So I think the principles before us are that the assembly can act right now, close public hearing, proceed into the deliberations on the item and cancel the meeting tonight, based on the fact that there was a published agenda, there was public notice of this meeting with a public hearing. Then the assembly can also, at the call of the chair, recess until 6 p.m., where only a few of us would have to be present, but we would have to have a quorum, obviously, and then take action after the public hearing tonight. The argument for the first one is we are all here. There was already a public hearing on this item held by the department. This public hearing is nominal to the passage of the resolution, which is really the meat. Then the other argument is the public notice said for this resolution, it would be tonight at 6 p.m. at the library. And so both of those are reasonable. And so what I want to do is ask the body for a motion. I don't know if that's proper in the middle of a public hearing, but a motion for which path. Let's take care of this now, or let's reconvene at 6 o'clock.
Thanks for not making a choice.
Well, if I had my way and I see both rationales, I think that this action is not a substantive action of the Muni. It's an expression of support for a resolution. There was a previous public hearing held. We have a public hearing notice, which isn't quite germane to the title, but it was published in the agenda. That all argues for, let's just get this done. But I also want to respect and hear from the members, their perspective, and not to dictate that. And so if I leaned, it would be, let's get this done.
I move to finish the public hearing today and take action on the resolution and cancel the public hearing that is noticed for this evening.
Second.
So I have a motion by Ms. Zalatel, seconded by Mr. Vaughn. In discussion. Now's your chance. Speak now. Ms. Zalatel, go ahead.
Thank you. With the cancellation, if this passes and the cancellation of the public hearing and notice for this evening, I think what we could offer is it wouldn't be on the record, but the notification to the public about how to email any comments they may have had to the assembly so that we can still all get them using the all-member email. Thank you.
Is it possible to have a statement like that in the public notice page for the cancellation, that if a member of the public intended to comment at 6 p.m., they could submit written comments today by time specific at WWMAS? Is that something we could do?
Through the chair, yes, we could put a clerk's note on the public notice. And I did have it opened up to FormStack, so people were available to put their opinions in.
Okay, so then I would direct it. So should this motion pass and we proceed? Ms. Branca?
Well, if we pass it this morning and then open it up to people putting comments later, it probably wouldn't seem very genuine to wanting to know their comments.
What it would do though is it would provide their comments that could be included in the package so that they would be heard just as well. So we aren't, I don't believe, intending amendments. Maybe I heard there might be a slight amendment, but it's not substantive. And so our role here is not to apply our opinion to the question. It really is, do we support this application? And we'll hear briefly about that after the public hearing closes. So do we want to do, I guess I'll just ask the clerk to call the roll since there's no one else. Thank you. Yeah. Or make the vote, but record it.
Member Myers,
Yes.
Member Martinez,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Bronga,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Chair Constant,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zolotel,
Yes.
Member Cross,
Yes.
Member Voland,
Yes.
Member Brawley.
Yes.
That passes 10-0.
All right, thank you. That gives me good, clear guidance then. So the public hearing on this item is still open. I will say once again, is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this item? Anyone at all? Hearing, seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. What's the will of the body?
Move to approve.
Second.
The motion to approve by Ms. Zalatil, seconded by Mr. Volland. Ms. Zalatil?
Thank you. I just want to make the record clear about what this is because the two public testimony items we received for the special meeting didn't relate to the item. They related to alcohol tax funding for a particular homelessness service provider. So this is about the Assembly seeking or expressing its support for the municipality to seek a HUD grant for pathways to removing obstacles to housing funding opportunity. What those removing obstacles is really about are regulatory and municipal barriers to housing development. It isn't necessarily about direct housing development in the community. It's examination of our own policies, procedures, the intersection of where government runs into development and can hopefully get out of the way. So I think that needs to be clear, and it's a really complementary opportunity, I think, for the Assembly to support with all of the work it's been doing around housing and housing development. And I think it's also very responsive for us to support this, particularly hearing the needs of the planning department in light of all of the action we've been taking and the work we've been doing. This will hopefully be some ability for capacity expansion, whether directly or through consultants to carry out the work we've been trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Volland?
Thank you. I'll make my brief amendment if that's okay. So on page 1, line 38, after Meg Zalatil, comma, I want to insert Assembly Member Anna Brawley, comma. I just want to make it,
Second.
thank you. Want to make it clear that all three co-sponsors are listed there. That's my first reason. Credit where credit is due. All three of us been working hard on that. And number 2, we aren't letting Anna off this project. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, so we have a motion made by Mr. Vaughn, seconded by Ms. Zalatil. Is there any objection to the motion? The motion is to add Ms. Brawley's name on line 38. I'm hearing none, so the motion is adopted. The item is amended. Any other discussion from the members? Ms. Brawley?
Yeah, I'll just add to emphasize that this money it really has the opportunity to be transformational to help increase our capacity. And then really, I think as I understand the intent from the federal level is to really be able to unlock, to really support cities that are already doing this work, that are really trying to move that needle, and to be able to unlock those opportunities in a way that that maybe if we're doing what we do as the status quo, we're not going to be able to get there. So I think that's really a way to look at this funding and to focus on what we have some control or influence over, knowing that there's a lot of pieces that we can't. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. I've already submitted comments, and I just want to emphasize that that we should not just be looking at understanding the issue, but really moving to those next steps of fixing those problems. And so I really encourage, and I know that the staff is working hard to make sure that we're focused on outcomes and that we're demonstrating that in our grant application. Thanks.
So we just have a few minutes left, but does anyone from the administration, the manager's office, health department, or the planning department wish to briefly speak to this? Not a requirement. Mr. Drolet.
Thank you to the chair. This is a collaborative effort that the health department, planning department, and other municipal departments have been working on. The pro-housing grant solicitation, this is a one-time kind of idiosyncratic grant opportunity, competitive grant opportunity from HUD. It can cover a wide range of activities aimed at removing those obstacles to housing, whether it's regulatory or in the municipal practices, policies. There's a wide range of things we can do. We've got a number of projects included in the draft. We are still open to additional feedback and comment, whether that's as a formal public comment or just informally to us. I do want to also note the original deadline for the grant submission was October 30th. That has been extended by 1 week to November 6th. So that gives us another week to get the final draft together and submit it.
Thank you. Mr. Hill.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to express my gratitude and thanks to the health department staff. They've really shouldered the burden of getting this ball rolling. The planning department has certainly been working to put together a project list and a description of each project to make sure that we can accomplish those and that we have capacity to do so. But the health department has really been taking the lead on this and very grateful for that and their expertise in putting this application together.
Thank you. So, Jed, when we do put this note out on the cancellation notice that says you can comment to us, what's a good reasonable time for us to put as an end date for comments to come through, since you've been given another week, but you still need time to add them as an attachment? Like, give me a date and a time.
To the chair, so our official public comment period that we noticed for the purposes of the grant ends today. I think Monday would probably be reasonable to get additional comments in, and then we can incorporate them into the grant.
So in that note, Madam Clerk, can we do Monday at, say, 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. I guess is fine. Monday at 5. Any comments submitted by Monday at 5 will be included. Thank you. Okay, we have just a couple minutes left. Any last discussion on this item? Hearing and seeing none, members may proceed to vote.
Member Brawley,
Yes.
Member Voland,
Yes.
Member Cross,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zolotel,
Yes.
Chair Constant,
Yes.
Member Johnson,
Yes.
Member Bronga,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Martinez,
Yes.
Member Myers.
Yes.
That passes 10-0.
On a vote of 10-0, AR 2023-360 as amended has passed the body. And I'll just say, it just feels so good when we're able to work together across the great divides. So thank you, everybody. With that, a public comment, audience participation, anyone wish to be heard? Seeing and hearing none. Any assembly member comments? Hearing and seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. We'll convene back at probably 40 after, just so folks can have a quick break.